Okay, the basic setup of wled, bringing it into Home Assistant, and then tying it into Habitat. First, if you don't already have a chip that's been programmed, you go to this particular URL and install the wled app. I'm not going to show that here, but that's what you do. Some controllers have it pre-programmed, and I have one of those. It's already installed on that controller. Once that controller is set up, you go into the wled native smart app, and any devices you have will appear in the smart app. This is the wled via a web browser. Just go to the URL for it, the IP address. Here I'm showing all the various colors and the color palettes that you can set. And then next are all the effects. There's roughly some 82, 84 effects that you can use inside of the wled app if you look at the menu on the bottom. Now I'm going to go over to the presets. Here's a number of presets. I've just done 5. Once you get something you like, you can save it as a preset. Now in the upper part, I've gone into PC mode. You can do that just on your computer via a web browser, so you can kind of see everything all at once. It just gives you another option. You can see that the power is on in the far upper left. You can see me picking the sliders on the effects and the color palettes on the far left. There I'm on the color wheel. All kinds of different ways to set colors and change colors and tweak them. And there I've gone out of PC mode. Again, this looks more like what you'd see in the wled native smart app. Now we're going to bring wled into Home Assistant. That's very easy. I don't really use Home Assistant much until now. Here's a few devices I have. The one device that I'm playing with right now is in the dining room, and I'll scroll up to that. I got a few others on there, but the upper left dining room ficus lights, that's the one that I'm playing with. And if I go down to settings and over to devices and services, on the far lower right, I can see wled. I've got currently 4 devices set. Each device has got a number of attributes. They call them entities, and all entities is a different attribute. Here's the basic controls for the one ficus tree that I've got. And if you go in and you take a look at the entities, here's a whole slew of entities. One example might be this one at the bottom here, which shows the Wi-Fi signal over time. Another one I can go up and pick and show the current draw or the Wi-Fi channel that it's on. Number of LEDs present, excuse me. This one I think shows the current draw. There's the current, and the more the brightness I use, the higher the current will go. Like I said, setting this up is easy. Once you open up Home Assistant, it'll just appear in the notifications. Now I'm going to bring that Home Assistant integration of wled into Habitat. So here I'm in Habitat. I'm going to go to the apps. I've added a smart app called the Home Assistant Device Bridge. And also there is a device driver called Home Assistant Device Bridge. Here basically do it. I'm not going to basically show the pressing of the button, but once I put the particulars in about Home Assistant, it'll go find it. It'll find the devices. You can pick the ones that you want out of there. And here I've got like 4 or 5 of them, including the ficus tree. So you can see the ones that I brought in. I'm going to pick the ficus one once it's in. And here's a number of settings inside of Habitat I can change. You can see all of the effects are over there on the right. So inside Habitat, I can change it to any of those effects. I can change the hue, the brightness, the color. I can turn it on and off, all within inside Habitat. Of course, once in Habitat, you can write programs either in WebCore or Rule Machine to change any of the things there. There you see some of the programs I've already got controlling this thing. Here I'm going to show that changes made in Home Assistant equal changes made to Habitat equal changes made to wled. So here I'm showing in wled that the power's on. Here's Home Assistant. Okay, you can see the power's on in Home Assistant. Here I'm going to go over to Habitat. You look at the bottom, the power's on. And here's action tiles, and I've got an action tile for these ficus lights. Turned it off in action tiles, jump over to Habitat, it's off. Jump over to Home Assistant, it's off. Jump over to WLED, it's off. So it's kind of nice. It's all tied together, integrated very nicely. Here's WLED in action on my wife's ficus tree. I made this short video for a friend of mine, and we'll go from there. Okay, Dan, here is a picture. Okay, Dan, here is a picture of the colors things, and we'll go and show you what's on the tree right now. So there's what the tree looks like right now. So now I'll jump over, just go to the colors, and I can try something like this. And now if I come over to the tree, yeah, it's doing a little different color set. And if I go back over here, change the effects, I do something a little bit different here, and jump over to the tree, and now it's kind of going through a blinking motion. So these are all effects, and I can change the speed on there. Let's try this one. Back over to take a look at the lights. Okay, they're kind of doing that. That's kind of cool. And if I say, okay, I like that effect, but I want to change the color set, and come over here to do it with some reds and some greens. And now it's doing the same thing, but just with a different color set.